All right, good afternoon, Johnsburg Junior High School friends and families. I'm Dr. Pierce.
I'm Mr. Wynn.
I'm Mrs. Brosh.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Parents Peak. Welcome to fall. So hopefully everyone had a great weekend. The weather was nice. A little rain yesterday. I know my lawn needed it. But it's nice to have those the fall weather out there today. So for this week's Parents Peak, a couple of announcements here. First of all, we did bus evacuations today during PE class. So please, if you want to just follow up with your students about how those went and, how it made them feel. You never know when an emergency would arise. So the kids did a nice job in PE class today doing the bus evacuations, but that was today. Speaking of that, and our drills, we do have our lockdown drill this Thursday. It's at 1:20. I will be sending a letter home today just to kind of explain that. Now, police will be here, but it is not one where there's active rounds. It's none of that. We activate the lockdown alarm, and then the students and the staff kind of barricade in their classrooms. So, like I said, the police are here to make sure that we're compliant. They actually have to sign off for the state, but there's no live rounds. There's nothing like that. But again, unfortunately, we see in the news often about these things happening. So hopefully our students take it seriously. So if you wouldn't mind just having those conversations with them at home about following those directions and those expectations for that drill. Tomorrow morning we have our PAC meeting. So thank you to all our families that RSVP. Looks like we have a decent amount of families coming. We are going to talk about SEL and PBIS. So if you can't make this one, our next one's in November. We'll be advertising that as well. But again, thank you to those families that signed up. That meeting's tomorrow at 7 o'clock here in our library. And then finally, we had our curriculum night last week. I would say we probably had 40 to 50 families. It was great to see everyone. So again, if you didn't make it, you can always reach out at any time. Mr. Wynn and I are available, as well as the social workers and our staff. It was a great night to see everyone, but like I said, this is a communication that we really want to have, flowing to and from, throughout the year. So one night doesn't dictate what we do for curriculum, but it was nice seeing all our families and some of our students last week. So thank you guys for coming out to that. So Mrs. Brosh, anything you want to add for SEL?
Yeah, so for SEL, we've been kind of going over some things in their students' agenda. So you guys should be seeing these at home. They should be writing their homework, maybe. So last week we talked about this last column on the back, which is kind of how to manage yourself when you're having a rough day. We talked a lot about how our negative days impact other people and how to prevent that. And then one thing I want to make sure to point out to parents this year as well is on the back of the the inside of the back cover is a coping skills chart. So I know sometimes it can be really hard to know how do you talk to your kids about how to manage their feelings when they're going on. A lot of our students don't have a lot of vocabulary words. They know happy, sad, mad, angry, and that's about where that list ends. So this is a good way where they kind of can start at those basics, but then add in some more vocabulary words, but then also look at when I'm feeling or acting a certain way, what can I do to change my behavior? So when I'm feeling down and I'm feeling sad, how could I lift my spirits? When I am really upset, how could I calm myself down? So this is just a good resource for our students. So this is what we're going to be explaining in SEL this week, is how they could utilize this. And it might be something if you're struggling with some of those big feelings at home. I know I struggle with big feelings with my second grader. It might be helpful to kind of sit down with your kids and think about what they would be willing to try out to help with those things.
Thank you, Mrs. Brosh. And I would like to add one thing about the agenda. So the agendas are required here at school, and not only for them to keep track of their work, also it's their passes. So if you ever look inside there, that's their hall passes throughout the day. We do notice a lot of students do not have them. So there are a couple ways to get them. We did provide the agendas to all students at the beginning of the school year. So if they don't have one, you should ask them, what happened to it. But two, if they need a replacement, there's two ways to get it. They can get it in the office, and it is an $8 replacement fee, or 100 PBIS points. So I know the students have done a nice job earning those PBIS points, so it doesn't cost them any money to get it. But it really is important that they have their agendas, because we're really trying to focus on the time management, the recording of their assignments throughout the day, just to be a little bit more organized. So I wanted to give that little shout out to you guys as well. So
they also have really helpful hinters if you're struggling with middle school math. There's a ton of helpful math pages at the front. So it's a great resource, really.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mrs. Brosh.
Yeah.
Mr. Wynn, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, we're full-fledged into fall sports right now. Congrats goes out to our 7th and 8th grade volleyball teams. Yay. they did awesome this weekend in the Johnsburg tournament. They both came home with the championship trophy. So we're really proud of our girls and how well they did this weekend. With volleyball, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade both have games here at home Monday and Wednesday this week, and 6th grade also is at home here at home on Thursday. So a lot of volleyball going on, and can't wait to see the girls this week here at home and see you as supporting them as well. For soccer this week, Monday they have a home game, and then Tuesday they're at Prairie Crossing, and then Thursday they're at North Prairie. So that's with that. And then cross country as well is on the road. Tuesday they're at Woodstock, and then Thursday at Marlow. So we're really excited about what's happening with our fall sports and all the great things that our kids are doing, and love seeing them competing and doing well.
Excellent. So, Mrs. Brosh, anything else you want to add for the Parents Peak?
That's it.
Mr. Nguyen?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, well, so that's our edition of this week's Parents Peak. On behalf of Mr. Nguyen and Mrs. Brosh and all our staff, I'm Dr. Pierce. Thank you guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.